Hey, everybody. If you're listening to this episode, first of all, let me say thank you from all of us here. We really appreciate your support. And secondly, we just wanted to let you know that this was the first episode that we did live on Twitch, so it was not without some problems. There are some audio issues, and some of the conversation may seem confusing as we respond to visual cues or some of the comments that we're seeing in chat. As we continue to do these live, we just ask that you bear with us while we work through some of these problems, and we promise it will get better, hopefully, with time. So thank you again for sticking with us. We'd love to hear from you, so feel free to email us at oldmanyell@podcast@gmail.com, and you can also find us on Spoutable, which we also explain in this episode. So thank you all again, and here we go.
Oh, yes, we have audio.
Oh my God.
Funny.
Congratulations.
It's funny how I just confirmed it, so we triple confirmed it. Oh, that's creepy.
Which part? Oh, the fact that it's on a weird delay. All right, well, let me just preface this, do some house cleaning first before I do anything for anyone who's actually listening to this. So we had a long gap between our last episode and this one, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One being just some personal life stuff got in the way, and then last week we actually did do an episode, and then we had a technical difficulty with it, so no one will ever see that episode. And the reason for that is because no one heard that episode. And that is because someone, I don't know, let's not point fingers here. It could have been anybody, really. Let's just say me, forgot to turn on the audio, for 99%.
You know, it's like driving an Audi, a car.
That's how fancy Europeans say it. They said my audio. Yeah.
I think we have to bring our producer into the office and say, you're Audi here.
Okay. So good. Yes.
Wow.
That's a level of humor you missed in the last episode. Now, I will say this.
I think he's trying to dethrone you with the bit.
That's the whole point, though, is that's what we miss, and this time it'll be better.
We did lose my pun, which I'm very upset about. I might have to redo it. But here's the thing. So I have three tiers of anger about last week. So the first tier would be me, because let's face it, I have no one else to blame but myself for forgetting to undo the mute button. But then there's like other levels. So the second tier would be you fuckers who at no point took the second to check whether there was audio coming through our channel, except, of course, Jerry, 2 seconds before we turned everything off, saying, "Hey guys, is it me or is the audio not working?" To which me and Kevin, of course, were like, No, you idiot. It's been working fine the whole time, you moron. Anyway, good night. So, and then the third tier is a few people that actually did come into the stream, saw that there was no sound, exactly, and opted to say nothing. Just didn't say a word. Couldn't be bothered to type in 4 letters, 5, depending whether you want to say mute or muted. Just said nothing and went on their way. But that's I would say that's me projecting. So, because I realize that it's actually just my fault, no one else's.
We don't actually know what they said.
Okay. Anyway, Jerry, I'm going to find a way to mute just you, though. I promise. That's something that I'll figure out. Yeah.
You know what? Hey, we're here, and it's working now. We've all confirmed it. It's working. Everything's good in the world.
I think the correct way to say it is it's working for now. There's a very good chance at some point I'll turn off the video feed.
Hey, the dog's still alive.
Daisy's still going. I don't know how to interact with Daisy. It was just some kind of plug-in that I saw, and I was like, "Oh, dude, dogs. Everybody loves dogs. I love the dog."
Feed the dog.
Yeah. Do you know why the dog's name is Daisy?
No. Was that the default name of the dog?
It was not, but I forgot why her name is Daisy. I actually had a very clever reason for why the dog's name was Daisy, and I completely forget why.
That's wonderful.
No, but there was a reason for it. Oh, this is going to bug the shit out of me. Okay, it's not important. I'll probably remember at some point or not. It really, really doesn't matter. Anyway, before I do anything, let me, I'm always like trying to adjust things to make sure like my setup here doesn't explode. We've got way too many things running at the same time. There's a lot of fans and heat just blowing in my face.
You're adjusting, pushing it to the left there.
Yeah. Okay. So I need you guys to help me make a decision. I have two things that I'm planning on drinking here, and I can't decide. So on one side you have this, which Jerry...
99. Yes, I vote for that.
And on the other hand, the other thing that Jerry got me, if you get... Oh my God, man, this thing is blowing a screwball. Man, this camera really is not good at picking up what's in the foreground. Come on, camera. Oh. It's like a mid.
You have to totally cover your face.
There we go.
Put it right in front of your face.
Okay, so here
Don't put it close to the camera.
Here's the two options. 99 or screw. 99.
99 root beer.
All right. Well, then I am drinking 99 as per my good friend Jerry's suggestion.
So we know what you're drinking. What are you drinking, Kevin?
I have it's my usual coffee and green tea, but then I actually did a little gin and tonic, just a tiny bit, like maybe 2 shots. And that'll be all I drink because I don't really get into that stuff.
I'm drinking leftover bottles of wine. My wife had some.
Leftover. Oh, is it your wife's taint again?
Yeah, no, not taint. She had some breads over.
So your wife's friend's taint. Why would you name a wine taint? Why? Why does that
this wine, this right now is it's called 19 Crimes, and it has Snoop Dogg on it.
Oh God, I know the one you're talking about.
I've seen that one in the
It's the wine
store.
It's the wine you buy for people you don't like as a joke.
Yeah, it's a Sauvignon Blanc.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do that, by the way. Seriously, technically.
Whatever you just did.
Technical reasons, don't do that.
Whatever you just did just almost blew my right ear
Oh shit! Sorry.
into my brain.
Yeah, don't get cheeky with the actual microphone.
But yeah, I have that, and that's got a little bit in it. So after that, I'll be working on the Federalist, which is a Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc 2017.
Oh, good year. Good year. Something happened. So I did not remember. Anyways, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be consuming those, and because I forgot to bring out a glass, I'm going to go full ghetto and just drink this shit from the bottle, because it's not going to get drank otherwise.
That's how I've been drinking cheap wine lately anyway. Because okay, here's the thing. You're not impressing anybody by drinking cheap wine, and you're drinking by yourself. So who cares?
Right. And why, have to dirty another glass and you're going to have to run through the dishwasher and water and energy. I'm doing this for the environment.
There you go.
Plus, he's not drinking alone.
Hey, Jerry.
Drinking with you guys.
So here's a question, Jerry. Since you got this 99 for me, am I supposed to lose taste in my mouth? Kind of like you do with Listerine, I guess. Is my mouth supposed to start going numb?
Yes, yes, it does.
It's only 99 proof. That would happen if what you were drinking was 100 proof.
Well, no, I drank 100 proof last time I had that bonded. What was it? Jack Daniels bonded. That's 100 proof, and that didn't make my mouth go numb. It made my heart and soul go numb. It made me feel really good because I did not give a shit about anything or anyone for a while. But my mouth felt pretty much all the same. This is I don't know. It's making me a little,
That'll go away after a few sips.
Maybe I'm having a stroke. It is possible I'm having a stroke. Anyway, okay, so here's what we have to decide. Since we lost everything we talked about last week, there is something I would like to at least go through that I talked about last week because I felt like it has a reason to exist in this world, and it's gaming related. Now, is there anything that you discussed last week that you want to rehash quickly? And
what did we talk about last week?
What we discussed last week. So my guess is I'm just going to go through the list, and if it wasn't taken off, I'll be like, oh, I guess we didn't talk about that. Just talk about that again.
Well, I mean, everything I've got to talk about is pretty much game related because I'm going to take just a regular swing here and just take a guess and say that, Kevin, you did not finish The Last of Us, did you?
I didn't finish, but I did, in honor of the homework, to watch the first 2 episodes.
2 episodes.
Pretty fantastic, actually. Yeah, I mean, they're an hour plus.
They're like, aren't they like half an hour long or something?
No.
No, they're an hour for sure. They're actually long hours. Sometimes the shows are like 50. I think most of them, the first 2 were like 110 or something like that.
Okay, am I the only one? I'm
Kevin watched The Peripheral. Did he finish that?
Dude, I talked about one show that, like, in a week, I don't watch that many hours to begin with.
You've had like 8 months.
Yeah, fuck that.
Just saying.
I finished The Mandalorian and answered,
Fuck. I have an episode still to go.
and it did answer.
So don't do the finale.
I won't do the finale. I will answer my own question. When I first started and I messaged you 3 episodes in and said, wow, this season's going really well. Does it like go downhill or something like that? Is that why everyone like didn't like it? The answer is yes. Yes, it does. It does. It does really go downhill.
Oh, that sucks.
So the Jack Black and Lizzo episode was terrible, but not.
The other person was Lizzo.
Yeah, that's Lizzo, who I can take her or leave her. I don't really care. But Jack Black I specifically dislike. So that episode wasn't as, I can't explain it. It's not even that it was bad. It was just pointless and forgettable. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I was just like, okay, that was a waste of whatever, how long those episodes are, like the 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, this had absolutely no reason to be made at all, and just moved on. It had nothing to do with the plot. It doesn't move the story forward. And Christopher Lloyd is in it, which I guess is a good thing, maybe. And that's it. It just ended, and life went on. It's pointless. So I think the hate for it is a little bit over. It's a little bit too much. It doesn't deserve all the hate. It doesn't deserve to be remembered. Like, you shouldn't spend that much time thinking about it, basically.
What are we talking about?
Done. Right.
Exactly. Very well done. So yeah. All right. So, Kevin, out of respect for you, we will not talk about The Last of Us again, even though I really want to talk about the show. I really do, because I have a lot of thoughts about it.
I'm loving it. So, yeah, let's give me another month. I mean, week.
Another month.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
It's weird because it's a show. It's a game that I love, still love. I played it a few times and I absolutely love the game. And it's a show that I liked as I watched it, but as more time passes, the more I think about it, the less positively I think about it for various reasons. So, but I won't touch on that quite yet. It is a good show. I will say that it's a good show. It left me with the feeling that it was good, but not great. But I don't want to get into all the specifics until we have a chance to talk about it.
I do want to play the game, so at some point.
The game is better. I think you're being way too optimistic, Jerry. The game is better in every possible way. There's no comparison. The fact that you get to interact with these characters, the fact that you play as these characters completely changes the dynamic of the story. It's a completely different experience. It hits on a completely different emotional level. Again, I'm trying not to spoil too much, but the show didn't really impact me at all. And it's partially because I already played the game and knew the story, but partially not. And I can't really say why. But, I mean, you get there.
The game does lack one thing that the show has.
Yes.
Nick Offerman.
Yes, it does. So, yes, Nick Offerman brings a lot to the show, which is actually one of my problems with it. But I can't say why, because Kevin hasn't gotten to the 3rd episode yet.
Wait, Nick Offerman is in it?
Hold on.
I fucking hate that guy.
You're thinking of the wrong person. He's not thinking of Nick Offerman.
You're dead to me.
No, he's thinking of somebody else. He's not.
Hate Nick Offerman.
He's thinking of Jessica Alba again. It's fine. You always can.
I don't like Nick Offerman.
He confuses every actor with Jessica Alba. I hate Nick Offerman. He was horrible in Battle Angel Alita.
I'm not really a fan of him. In maybe a different show, but the Parks and Rec, not
Wait,
What character?
are you actually thinking of Nick Offerman?
Yeah, I'm looking at him on on the interwebs.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jerry, I'm going to remove Kevin from this podcast. Give me a second.
Yes, please, thank you.
Yeah, Kevin, it was fun knowing you, but this can't possibly work. I'm sorry. How could you?
It's been nice.
How? No, but like legitimately, how? I have never in my life met anybody that had anything but deep-rooted affection for Nick. How do you not like Nick Offerman? Okay, let's start the. No.
Let's put it this way. Hate is a heavy word. I would say not impressed. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that one thing, like that one scene where he's like, "I'll have bacon and eggs," and then he's like, "No, wait, you didn't hear me right.
I have all the eggs.
I mean, when I say, but yeah, I will have all the
bacon and all the eggs. Yes.
Right. So like that's pretty funny and so on. And if I have to go on all my knowledge and that's the only thing I know, then I guess I have to actually say it's in the positive direction. But otherwise, I'm not impressed. Like, and I don't have enough of a sample to actually know for sure. So
what is your exposure to? Like, did you watch all the seasons of Parks and Rec?
No. Nope.
No.
No. I mean, you kidding? Who are you talking to?
Okay. What is your opinion of Nick Offerman based on?
Actually, probably that character.
But you didn't watch the show.
Yeah, enough of them. I saw a couple of episodes here and there, or like parts of episodes. Other people in my life enjoyed that show.
I would say you need to. I would say you need to watch that show. You will. You can't.
The show is fine. The show I did enjoy.
I'm saying his character is. His character is. How should I put this? It's like an onion. You know, like that, to use a Shrek analogy.
That is a really good analogy. And I guess I don't like onions, so it's like, the same analogy.
That's not what I was going.
Nice.
Not at all, bro.
Onions.
It's like the thinky, odd, kind of vegetable or whatever the fuck it is. Root.
All right, you see, Nick Offerman is like an arugula. No.
Arugula.
He's
I don't like arugula either.
He's like a big, juicy kumquat. Look. But in fact, you have to, I would say you should watch the show because his character, everybody in that show develops and they have multiple like levels to their personality. Like there's a few episodes specifically, which I don't want to ruin, where his ex-wives show up, where he becomes a completely different person. And the first episode where his ex-wife shows up specifically is one of the funniest things ever put on television. Like you will be on the floor laughing hysterically for the majority of it, and it's all because of Nick Offerman. It's like Parks and Rec is a must watch show. I actually enjoyed it more than The Office, if I'm being honest, and I know that's like sacrilegious, but
I didn't see that either.
It was good. That was a decent.
Okay,
it's a very good.
I have to disagree with you a little bit there because.
Oh, you mean you want to be wrong? That's okay. Go ahead.
No. His ex-wife is played by his real-life wife, Megan Mullally.
One of them. He has a couple of ex-wives show up.
She's really good in and of herself. So.
Yeah, the fact that they're...
And the way the two play off each other in the show is just great.
Yeah, the dynamic between the two of them is incredible. Anyway, I'm not going to keep talking you into just watch. Just you're either going to watch it or you're not going to go watch it. I would say...
not going to watch it because...
Dude,
I would say...
How many am I behind already just for the podcast?
Just watch like one show a night instead of falling asleep to whatever Marvel movie.
Stop going out.
Hey.
No, stop going outside. Stop taking for a walk. Stop talking to your children. Just quit your job. Just watch TV all day. That's fine. Do something important with your life, not this other bullshit where you make money and, go outside to witness the sun and the beauty of nature. Who the fuck cares? Watch Nick Offerman. It's more beautiful than the sun that rises every morning. If I could watch Nick Offerman rise over me every morning instead of the sun, I would be way less depressed. I just want to point that out.
Oh my God, like Teletubbies, and it's the Nick Offerman face for the sun.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's like my favorite kind of like paralysis demon. That would be amazing. Anyway, I don't know how we got here, but basically Nick Offerman's amazing. You are legitimately the first human being I've ever spoken to that had anything but like just the pouring of affection, an outpouring of affection for that man. Because anyway, but watch it.
Oh, and then there's Devs. You have to watch Devs because it's
I
another Nick Offerman show.
Wait, Actually, that one I'm not. Oh, is that the one on Hulu? Isn't that like the serious one?
Yeah, it's one season, a one and done.
Yeah, it didn't get renewed.
No, it was never meant to be renewed. It was.
Oh, it was just a miniseries?
It's basically a miniseries.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
It's interesting. It's kind of like a simulation theory show. And I could, if I go into it, it'll be spoiler-ish, a little bit spoiler-ish. But yeah, it's a good show. I think it's on Hulu. It's a quick watch. So it was made by the same guy that made Ex Machina and Annihilation, and actually one of the lead characters in this she was in both of those movies. So it's it's got some weirdness in it, but I really enjoyed it. It's simultaneously, it's weird because it's simultaneously very predictable. Like, oh, this is why he's doing this. This is what's going to happen and everything. And then, like, there's lots of little things that you're like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. So, it's cool. I think it's totally worth the watch.
Okay. All right. I might give it a try. For some reason, I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was The Verge. The Verge shit all over that show. That's why I think I skipped it, which in hindsight was a bad decision because The Verge sucks. So I should probably check it out. Speaking of The Verge.
What? Are you kidding me? That was the bet. No, I'm kidding.
No, actually, it's funny. Speaking of why The Verge is crap. So I sent you guys a message. So apparently, because Elon Musk has been firing everybody from Twitter, including the people that handle moderation and a few other things, no one noticed that a whole bunch of people uploaded the entire Super Mario Brothers movie to Twitter, like the entire.
I saw that. Yes,
right.
As if Twitter couldn't get any worse.
And then, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But the messed up thing is that it was fine. It was up for a few days, and then The Verge basically narked on these people, and for some reason decided to run a stupid article on their shit site saying, "Hey, just so you guys know, here's a bunch of people who are streaming the entire Mario movie." And of course, right after that, they all got flagged, and the thing got taken down. So basically, they narked on a bunch of Twitter users and a bunch of people that just wanted to watch the stupid movie. Like, what the fuck was the point? Why is The Verge like this?
And did someone else post it 10 minutes later?
No, actually,
it was all over the place.
It was for a while, but I think once it was the fact that The Verge brought attention to it, got the attention of everybody else, and they started looking for those keywords, and eventually, it got taken down. So yeah, I mean, I get to watch some of it. I actually turned it off before they got taken down because, first of all, the quality wasn't that good, and second of all, the movie wasn't that good. If I'm being entirely honest.
Really?
It wasn't, how should I put this? It was very childish, and I'll explain why in a minute, but it wasn't childish enough to be fun because my 3-year-old, my daughter, saw colors on the screen and sounds, and it was like somebody screaming, "It's a me, Mario!" So she's like, "Oh my God," and she ran over, and the kid, she got excited, she sat with her eyes open, and then after 10 minutes, she just barely fighting to stay awake, just walked away to start playing with her toys. The fact that this could entertain a child is pretty impressive.
Wait, no, that's incredibly impressive. If she was barely awake, she was falling asleep, that's a godsend. I'd be like, "Hey, time to put on the Mario movie," and your kid would be
it was
soaring after a couple of minutes.
It was somehow not, it was just not interesting. So the way I kind of gauge these kind of things is the jokes in them, in the movie are it's not that they're lazy, they're telegraphed to me. That's kind of how I look at whether a joke is for kids or not, whether a joke is too telegraphed, where everything is sort of set up where it's really, really obvious, because kids can't think that abstractly yet. It has to be very linear, somebody walks by and drops a banana, and you show the bananas, and somebody walks by and slips on it and falls, and there's the punchline. It's kind of like why shows like like that humor is made for children and dumb people. Sort of like The Big Bang Theory and like Scrubs. Like both those shows are terrible and are made for very dumb people because the jokes are all basically like, oh, I hope this doesn't happen. Oh, it happened. Lol.
I've never watched them.
They are both horrible shows, but so that's kind of like how I look at it. Well, okay, you know what? In all honesty, Scrubs has like a couple of funny moments. Big Bang Theory is just easily one of the worst shows ever made. But so that's how this is. Like basically the entire short part that I watched, and I literally just watched the very, very beginning, was basically these two plumbers running around. It's like, okay, like for example, they show up to somebody's house to fix their plumbing, and the people go, whatever you do, just don't make a mess in there. And the next 5 minutes is them making a huge mess in
the entire scene.
Yeah, basically. So like it's that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's very, I still want to see it because it's the Mario Brothers, but you know.
I started watching a show. I watched the first episode last night called Mrs. Davis. Have you heard about this?
I want to see that so bad. That's about the nun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you it's Betty Gilpin. I will watch anything with Betty Gilpin. She's amazing. She was in Glow.
Oh, interesting. I watched a couple episodes of that. I have to get back into that.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it because there was some of that, and it's so the premise of the show is something that Kevin would like because it's
Which one?
kind of Mrs. Davis.
Really?
Like humanity is kind of in the caring arms of AI. It takes place in 2023, but alternate universe kind of thing where everything is run by this AI. And this AI, like, you know, it's kind of like a post-scarcity society. People only work if they want to. The AI takes care of everything kind of thing. Everyone is wearing like little earbuds that the AI talks to them and kind of, so that's the premise. I've only watched one episode. And
On a Peacock.
yeah, it's on the cock.
It's on the Peacock.
I don't pay for the cock, so I was only able to watch the first episode.
Oh, so you're just getting some free cock.
Yeah, getting some free cock, but they only give you a little bit of free cock.
Oh, so you only have like a tiny. So you okay?
Tiny bit of free cock.
Right. So not even the full cock. You just get.
It's just enough to pay.
Oh, so you're just getting just a tip of some free cock. Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Exactly. But, and like, the show is interesting enough that you're like, you kind of want to go, like, why is this way? Why is that this way? But then they do the stupid slapsticky kind of thing, like, and I don't know if it's like, I haven't figured out if it's homage and like we're just doing this because we, you know, it's funny and that's why kind of thing. But there's like one scene where they're riding bikes, motorcycles, and, you know, they're on a soundstage set and like two guys have like a big cardboard thing or a big plywood thing. And they're like, oh no, well, we're going to drive right through it. Like the old things where they're driving, like carrying a big mirror or a glass thing across the street. And like one guy jumps through a moving donut and the other guys trash through the thing that the two random guys were carrying across the street. And you're like, okay, that's like Abbott and Costello level slapstick stupid shit.
Okay.
So I don't know how I feel about
It's like Fonzie jumping the shark.
No, almost. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, where does the show fit in? Because you're like, that's an interesting thought experiment of like post-scarcity society because of this AI is taking care of humans. And I know Kevin's all about that and some of the books that you've read.
Fucking Neil Asher books are fantastic, and it's all about, essentially benevolent AI.
Right.
Or at least symbiosis AI.
And this is like, that's the case, but for whatever reason, this nun is totally against this AI and is doing everything that she can to thwart this AI. So what's
right there is immediately the worst thought experiment.
Hold on, before you get in, I just want to warn you. This is a Daniel Linhoff show. Oh, I might be mispronouncing his last name. Daniel Linhoff.
I don't know what that means.
So
Which implies what?
Daniel Linhoff, he's made some good things and he's made some bad things. So good things he's made. He made an amazing show on HBO called The Leftovers, which I highly recommend. He made an amazing show on HBO called Watchmen, which was a follow-up to the graphic novel.
We did like that.
Yes, that was actually one of my favorite
The
shows.
series.
The series, yes.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen the series.
a series is fantastic, but the series doesn't follow. Keep in mind, if you're following like the canon, the series technically follows the graphic novel, not the events, because the movie changes a few things. You can watch the movie and sort of, because the movie changes the ending a little bit. Actually, it changes it.
You actually explained it to me once, and it was interesting.
Right. The show follows the ending of the graphic novel, which there's similarities, but there's some also key differences. I would say you don't have to read the graphic novel. If you want to, you can watch the movie and then just read why the ending is different. But anyway, he's also the guy who took over and destroyed Lost. And we all know how I feel about Lost. So
I have no idea. I don't know, and I never watched Lost.
yeah, and you never should. No one ever should. But so
What about what's her face? That's a good reason.
yes. Don't get me started on that, please. Let us have a few more drinks. But so he's like hit or miss. He's an issue. He also made that movie with George Clooney, Tomorrowland. That was him, and that's all really comes to mind. So he's made a few really, really awesome things. So he does a lot of thought experiment stuff. So this is like his wheelhouse. I'm just letting you know what you're getting into. Those are the things that he's mostly responsible for. So one of the things I was going to say is that prepare to not have almost anything explained by the time the show's over. It's going to be a lot of like left open to interpretation. That's
Just ask my wife. She was obsessed with that show.
which one? Lost?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, that was back when you didn't.
Asking that isn't going to have anything to probably shed light on Miss Davis.
No, right. I can spoil Lost for you with 2 words. 3 words. Magic butt plug. That's it. Magic butt plug.
That the only time I saw that was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. That fucking fight scene.
Except in Lost, the magic butt plug goes into the island and not into a person. It is a magic butt plug that is stuck in the island, and then they pull the butt plug out, and the magic goes.
It's just technology.
Yeah. Lost was lost.
It goes.
Just like that.
Yeah, it was 6 years of them.
It went like what?
It was 6 years of them saying, we know this is weird. We know nothing makes sense, but keep watching. We promise you, this actually all has a scientific They actually said this. They said everything has a scientific explanation at the end, and then at the end, it is a magic butt plug in an island that they pull out, and it goes.
Yeah, the writers were like, dude, I'm so high. Like, what was the explanation we had for this? And the other guy's like, I don't know. And he's like, okay.
They did admit finally later on that they actually lied and had absolutely no idea where the story was going, and they were kind of making it up as it went along. And at some point, the studio was like, "You have to end the series," and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll get right on that."
Did they have the same writers the whole time, or did they have a revolving door policy?
I'm not sure, but I know that Abrams was the one who created the show originally. He was involved with the start of the show, but he left after season 1. So a lot of people shit on Abrams for that show, but he actually is not responsible so much for it because he left very early on. He left when the show was good. The first 3 seasons of the show are incredible. After season 3, it begins to rapidly decline because they completely stop explaining anything and just more random weird shit keeps happening, and it keeps going on this weird cycle where it's like, where they're like piling the weirdness on, but they're saying, but eventually we need these new levels to explain everything, and it's all gonna make sense. We just need to pile all this on, and then they don't explain any of it, except
That sounds that's there's deja vu. That sounds like your Game of Thrones review.
how dare you?
That was a little.
It's like you just hit play. It's very similar in critique.
Game of Thrones was like, hey, George R.R. Martin was writing these books, and he wrote he's like, I got 5 books. And they're like, dude, you're not going fast enough. And he's like, I've got 5 books. And they're like, we're on season 5 now, so what are you going to do about season 6? He's like, I've got 5 books. And they're like, okay, hold my beer. We got this from here. And then, from what I've heard, I haven't watched.
Well, what happened was
It all went to shit.
right. So what happened was
Again, I think the guys were like, I'm so high. Let's make it dark. And there's like shit going on.
yeah, they can't criticize what they can't see. Just make it basically what happened was the 2 showrunners were approached by, I think, Disney, and they were like, hey, you guys want to do Star Wars? And they're like, fuck yeah, we want to do Star Wars. And they're like, well, you need to wrap up this, before you do Star Wars. And they're like, oh yeah, let's do that. So they went to HBO, and HBO was like, we'll give you like 3 more years to do this. And they're like, nah, we got this. We'll just wrap it up right now. It's fine.
Big war, everyone does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like,
We're done.
yeah, she's gonna be like Hitler. He's got a magic sword. This guy is just gonna be king for no reason whatsoever. Good. Can we have our Star Wars movie now? And Disney was like,
They get fired out of Star Wars because they did a shit job on their resume.
yes. There was a little bit of karma where Disney was like, wow, you guys totally fucked that one up. So no Star Wars movie for you. Yep.
Good.
Thank fucking God. So yeah. And that's sure. So basically, what happened was
Speaking of Disney, I hope
Disney was like, "Hey, you want to do Star Wars? Well,
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of Disney, relevant, all that shit going on in Florida. I hope they fucking kick Florida's ass.
you know what? I need to read about it because I have no idea what's going on. All I know is that like DeSantis is like in a boxing match with Mickey Mouse and like the parking lot. I don't know. I have no idea. They're like DeSantis is suing Disney suing DeSantis, and DeSantis.
Well, it was you're fucking all over the place.
Name. It's Douche Santis.
And hold for laughter. And okay, Kevin, you were saying?
Don't do the fucking button.
Oh,
Don't prompt.
I was gonna press the button.
No, he was about to do epic. Come on.
No. I was gonna do that. His name is Douche Santis.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how the problem is, see, Kevin, here's the problem. I don't know how he's doing it, so I can't block him. Like, I can't mute that part of his stream.
Oh my God. I almost don't want to tell you also.
Terrible.
I fucking got blurry. There we go. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, so essentially DeSantis started talking about the taxes so what it is I don't know how many, 60 years ago, the state of Florida made a deal and they said, here, Disney, here's a geographical plot of the property, and you're going to manage it as if it was a town. So Disney has to pay
But
for
it's
it.
called Disney World.
I'm saying it's like an incorporated village, though. It has government position, whatever. They had to take care of all the normal stuff.
Yeah.
So
It has its own government. It can set the rules and stuff, and variances and etc.
Okay, so far the civil part that I know and understand. The rest of it.
Yeah. So DeSantis is basically saying there's no corporation that's allowed to have this stuff. Like his whole chip on his shoulder, I think, is taxes are it was
because it's afforded.
Disney said,
Yeah.
he will say gay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Well, no.
LGBT.
Hold on.
That's what it was.
No. Yes. Well, yes and no. At first, when he was trying to pass those things that don't say gay, Disney went along with it, and then they got a lot of pushback from people, and then they turned around and said, "Oh no, we're going to be on the right side of history," and that's what had happened. Never forget the fact that Disney's first reaction was to side with DeSantis. So they're not the good guys. They just thought that they were about to lose a whole bunch of money.
Now they're swinging lawyers, and I gotta say, I think Disney probably has more resources.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's a world. It's Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was something with like DeSantis set up this board, and like right at the end, Disney like slipped in some caveats, basically totally neutering that board.
Yeah, apparently they can really like humiliate.
They weren't doing anything. And then like when they actually tried, they were like, "But you have no rights," and DeSantis was like, "Oh, what?"
It's literally a pissing contest. It's so stupid. And I gotta admit, I'm actually on a fucking Disney Corporation side. Don't really, I'd be on the state side, but whatever.
I kind of feel like
Take any size these days.
it's like that South Park episode. It's what is it? A douche versus a shit sandwich kind of thing. Like I don't know, like I don't like I hate them both. Disney's pure evil. DeSantis is evil. It's just like whoever wins, we lose kind of situation. So
yeah,
I can't even begin to pick a side. If somehow they could both lose, that'd be great. Like if Disneyland closed down and DeSantis like sank in the ocean, that'd be awesome. Like if Florida, like if Florida,
allegedly,
Like a rate Florida going, that
Yeah.
probably won't take too long.
if Florida just broke off and rapidly descended into the bottoms of the ocean and then into hell where it belongs, that'd be
don't worry about that. Mother Nature will take care of all of the low ground.
But it takes so long. Nature's. How many more rainforests do we have to burn down before Florida finally sinks? Come on.
Sorry.
No, they won't sink. The ocean will rise above them.
And me with my
Pretty sure that's still sinking. You with your... Oh, yeah, Jerry.
You're like fucking with my head because sinking means you're moving down, but that's not what happens.
No, sinking means you go underwater. If a giant tidal wave covers you still sink.
Okay.
You still drown. Oh, you should drown. You know what? I'm sorry, you drown. I guess that would be the correct.
What happens if you walk into quicksand? Are you floating or are you sinking?
You're sinking.
Yeah. You're moving downward into it.
I guess.
Right.
I guess.
But
No, he's right. I think sinking. No, he's right though. I think I'm talking about drown.
Sinking has like, into something.
right, but the actual
Oh my God, it was so fucking fighting over
Yeah,
the definition.
This is the stupidest debate ever. But I'm actually kind of.
there's two different things.
Sinking means go down below the surface of something,
Again,
especially a liquid.
yes, I think that's why the correct verbiage was drowning. Again, they're not gonna sink. They're gonna drown.
Okay.
You know what? I don't care as long as they're underwater and can't get back out. I don't care. I can imagine.
I think by Kevin's definition, yes, even if the water level rises, they are still sinking.
Yes.
Which is
My definition.
well, the one you just quoted, the Merriam.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you actually made. Oh, it's so funny. My head wants to say it's like moving in a downward motion, but that's so relative anyway. Whatever. Okay.
But what does your heart say?
If the water rises, you don't sink into it.
I agree with you. I think you're right.
But by the definition that he just read, you would be sinking.
But I disagree with.
No, and here's why. Go down below is a verb, meaning like the subject goes down. If the water rises, the subject didn't do anything.
Okay, let's look at this in the terms of oral sex, right? Let's say if you lower yourself, if one lowers themselves to perform oral, right, they're going down on that person. However, if the person stands on top of a chair and the person doing the oral is standing up straight, they're still going down on that person. So
No, the person's going up on them.
No, that's not how it goes.
Because going is a verb.
No,
Oh my God, it's so funny. I know what you're saying. It's just because that's my default thought that happens when you say that sentence. To go means something goes, like as a
Because
I
let's
don't know
say
the grammar of it.
let's say the receiving person is a little person. Okay, like they have to stand.
Whoa, no, let's not talk about any kind of little person.
But does that mean no one can ever go down on them because they always have to stand on like a chair?
No, but maybe in that community he'd be like, so I went up on this chick the other day, meaning that she went down on him.
That's a tough sex story itself.
Go back. Let's go back and go like somebody walk.
Up on it, it's
Like-
just going up into like whatever, like you're going up like that. That's what I picture.
No, he just has like a portable 3-step ladder, and
It would have to be like the bed was on the ceiling and you were strapped, like belted up. So
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, don't be weird about this. Okay, we're talking about little people doing oral on chairs and booster chairs. Okay, don't make it weird.
now, like, let's take this in context of like a really good show, like The Expanse, and if they're in 0G, are they going like sideways on each other?
That is a very good point. You'd like two ships passing in the night. That's no one's going down. Is that called shipping?
no, it would. There's two downs. There's the down of one person, and then there's the down of the other person.
No, but you're in space. There's no up or down.
No, but down is always still have our verticality, if that's a freaking word. But like the way you're looking as a person.
Stand on one wall, and I could stand on the opposite wall.
Yeah, if you're lying in bed,
It's all you need the context is my point. Yeah, you need the context.
Relative. So
Yes,
you could,
correct.
Like I
that is true. Okay.
and because it's all relative.
It's a new phrase, modern terms.
Man, goddamn, this bitch was Einsteining me like there was no tomorrow.
Okay, what have I done?
Anyway, so
Context.
I forgot how this. Oh well, yeah. So and that's why Nick Offerman's great.
But shit, I love that guy.
I do love me some Nick Offerman. Anyway, right. So that's the thing with Disney and DeSantis. I still don't fully understand it, but I know it has to do with like taxes, and it doesn't really have to do with taxes. Or whatever. It's a power struggle, and back and forth. Whatever. It's not gonna end well. Actually, you know what? I think it's just gonna be stuck in courts forever. I don't even think it's gonna end anytime soon.
No, I don't know. There's all kinds of crap coming our way. Freaking election right around the corner.
Oh, speaking of elections, so one thing I forgot to explain on the last podcast, which is great because no one would have heard it, is Spoutable. You guys asked why we are on Spoutable. So, just a quick background. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Everybody saw that as the coming of the apocalypse for Twitter, and he's been living up to those expectations fairly well, just rapidly, basically.
Unscheduled disassembly.
Yes, he's been, yeah, exactly. So a few alternatives tried to take advantage of that. There was Hive, which bombed horribly. There was, I forget, there was a few others that I'm blanking on the name of right now. But anyway, one of the ones that emerged is a site called Spoutable. What was that? Am I overheard that?
I don't know. I think I didn't hear what it said, but I think I
did hear it.
The dog
Oh, the dog is doing something. Great.
played with the dog.
Great. Somebody do the dog.
I agree. I think it was the dog.
Okay, okay. Now the dog's on fire. I don't know what's happening, but anyway, the point that I was getting at, there is a guy on Twitter. Damn it, Jerry.
I didn't touch it that time. That was Kevin.
Okay. Oh, Jerry. Kevin. I don't know. Everyone's making weird sound effects. I don't know who to yell at an inappropriate time. Anyway,
I don't even know how to do it.
there was a guy on Twitter. His name is Chris Bowsey. Might be mispronouncing it. It may be Bowsey. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. I'm sure I am. I apologize. I'm terrible with names. He runs a company called Bot Sentinel, which is a company that collects and analyzes data. He also uses a lot of the data to work on election predictions, sort of what like Nate Silver does. However, Nate Silver is a grifter who's full of shit, and is thankfully now out of a job. Whereas Chris Bowsey actually in the last few years has been way more accurate, and he really caught a lot of people's attention in the 22 election when everybody was screaming that there's going to be a red wave and everybody was expecting Republicans to completely overtake the House, and they expected them to also retake the Senate. His prediction way ahead of time, and he was disagreeing with Nate Silver and a few others. He was saying that the Democrats are definitely going to keep the Senate by a couple of seats, and that if they will lose the House, but if they do lose it, they're going to lose it by like 1 or 2 seats. Like there's not going to be a huge red wave. This is all bullshit, blah, blah, blah. He got into it with Nate Silver a few times even. And obviously he wound up being right. So he launched this Twitter alternative called Spoutable, which, if I'm being honest, it's made mostly for the left-leaning crowd. So it's supposed to be a quote-unquote like safe place for people that want to discuss topics that are more liberal, left-leaning, and they are tired of doing it on Twitter. So it's I've been sort of messing with it. It's pretty good. It's a really well-built site. It's running fantastically well. It's got some bunch of stuff that Twitter even doesn't have. And yeah, it's decent. And I figured it's new. People are sort of checking it out. So we didn't really have much of a presence on Twitter anyway. So I figured, fuck it. I made a sub profile on Spoutable, and actually sort of picking up steam there. So it's good. Yeah, it's good. Like I'm on there. I actually post on there relatively frequently as well. It's good. Like people actually can have normal conversation. I mean, everyone's being, you know what, like it's a new thing. So people are kind of being extra
Civil?
polite. Yeah, people are just like, you might post something and someone would be like, I don't agree with you, but good for you. Way to think that way. Right.
Not like, you dumb fuck, you stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, right. It doesn't degrade instantly into that. And he did say that they're going to have very strong moderation tools, and they've already pissed off a bunch of people because they just outright banned a bunch of people that didn't even have opposing views, but they were harassing and attacking people like the way, right. So they went back to doing that on Twitter where they're allowed to do that. The media, of course,
people that spout freedom of speech for an excuse for being assholes to everyone else.
Yes, well, that's right. That's all. Well, that's the founding principle of Twitter these days, especially. But the media, however, has been giving it little to no coverage because the media is very obsessed with Jack Dorsey's new thing, which is called Blue Sky? Blue Sky? Is that what it's called? I don't know. Jack Dorsey, the guy who basically, right, he's the guy who did Twitter back in the day. He now launched a new one called whatever, Blue something. I don't really give a shit. It's invite only. It doesn't have like even half the features that like Twitter does. It can't do like, you can't post pictures or videos to it. It doesn't have like direct messaging. It doesn't have moderation tools. It has absolutely fucking nothing. But of course the media is going nuts about it because it's Jack Dorsey. So anyway, it's about old school. I like it. I don't know if it's going to be a replacement for it. I'm not really on Twitter anymore because it's basically just a cesspool at this point. There's no one really posting anything interesting on it. People are just yelling at each other, mostly hateful stuff. So I'm just like, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Good for you.
There you go. So the old men are currently yelling on Spoutable.
Oh, I will have to yell there.
Yes, you should. It's nice. There's some nice folks there.
Well, it'll be called Spout. You'll have to spout there.
Yes,
Spouting?
Yes, the term to post on there is called spouting.
Dirty.
Well, it was funny. It was actually, I think, started off partially because because Twitter is failing, and the symbol for Twitter failing was the fail whale. So they adopted that whole imagery, like Twitter's failing, so use Spoutable. Anyway, it's fine.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. The spout is like a whale spout? Okay.
Yes. So when you post,
I don't think I realized.
So instead of a tweet, it's called a spout.
Mm-hmm.
And like when something's popular, it's making waves and
Come on, that's clever. That's good. Good marketing.
There's a few good ones. It's a good site. And Bowsey, honestly, like, look, no one, like, I don't know the guy personally, and I don't really fully trust anybody. But I mean, he seems like a decent enough human being, and he has been.
Yeah.
He has been
on Spout. Do you get like a blue fin or a blue wave or something?
something. There's actually some of that in there as well. I'm trying to remember what it is, but yeah.
Compatible will jump the shark when the original when the original founders like retire into the holding company that holds that company.
Wow, that was a lot less funny than I expected it.
Google situation.
I think.
Well, I gave it to you up front. You don't have to laugh. It wasn't meant for it to be a joke.
I thought you were like, yeah, go like working somewhere towards all that. Yeah, jump in the shark to the market watch. Yeah. Anyway, so that's sort of with what's about. But in general, just stay off social media in general because social media is crap. I wanted to really quick. So I'm not okay. I promise I'm not starting the whole debate of console versus PC.
Here we go.
Okay. You guys, how should I put this? You guys don't really follow this closely because you don't care, but have you been looking into the general like state of gaming in the last like couple of years?
What do you?
Well, like mainstream gaming, like a lot of games that we play do tend to be actually indie games. Like we actually, between the three of us, don't really play that many new AAA titles. Like I think
My guess is if it's a AAA title, well, it's rife with microtransactions and 9-year-old.
well, that's free.
Well, Elden Ring
Yeah,
would have been
right.
a AAA, and then for me it was actually Cyberpunk,
Right.
2077.
So those are all AAA titles.
I played the shit out of that. Yeah.
So the problem that has been happening, and it is also happening as of today, because do you guys know the game Redfall that's coming out today?
Nope.
Okay,
I heard of it.
so Redfall is a game that is supposed to be a big deal. It's a first party Microsoft title. It is being released by Bethesda and developed by a studio called Arcane,
I'd heard
which you would have heard of both of those. Bethesda is huge, and
Big name.
And Arcane is a company that made the Dishonored games. They made Deathloop.
Oh,
Right. So this was like a big thing. This was a huge, like, because Microsoft bought Bethesda last year. They've been fighting against the whole thing with the Sony PlayStation having a lot of like cool exclusives, like the God of War games. They've got the new Final Fantasy game coming out. What is it, like Last of Us, Forbidden West. Anyway, so this was supposed to be like Microsoft's big thing because they completely fucked up the Halo launch last year, which didn't really help them. So this year they've got two coming out. They've got Redfall and they've got Starfield. Redfall was supposed to be the first big release. Starfield was supposed to be the second big release. So Redfall, in working up to its release, didn't look that great. I think a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, they said that the game is going to be capped at 30 frames, which is ridiculous because the whole point of the new generation consoles is that they're supposed to be like, the floor is supposed to be 60 frames, and they're supposed to be technically doing 120. This, for some reason, and this is, again, there's a huge title, like all of Microsoft's power and money's behind this. It's capped at like 30. The game doesn't look that great. It's being released. It's coming out like now, like as we speak. They had a bunch of NDAs on it, so no reviews were even allowed to be released. Reviews are starting to trickle out now.
it's dangerous.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Our game is so good, we don't want anyone to talk about it.
Exactly. Somebody accidentally they claimed they got confused and broke the NDA and released it at like 11 a.m. instead of 11 p.m. or 8 a.m. instead of 8 p.m. or something, and said this is one of the worst games they've ever played, definitely the worst game of the year, and this game is complete trash. And that started this whole thing on Twitter, but not on Spoutable, because people on Spoutable are better. So also, there's not a lot of people in Spoutable. But the biggest problem with it is, once again, it runs like shit on PC. So you have Redfall, which runs like shit on PC. What is it, last week? What came out last week? Trying to remember. Something just came out. Basically, every game that has come out recently, the PC port has been shit. And every new game that comes out has been review bombed on Steam because, I'm serious, like, every new game runs like shit on the PC. Forspoken ran like shit on PC. The new God of War game ran like shit on PC. The Last of Us, that remake, the one that just came out, apparently was so bad it was completely fucking unplayable. Horizon, they put the first Horizon game on PC. It ran like crap. There's this game now, and there's something, I'm trying to remember, something came out. I'm blanking. Something came out like a week or two ago that also got completely like review bombed. I'm trying to remember what it is. Anyway, I'm blanking on it. But the problem is, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are the PC ports running so poorly, considering the fact that PCs are way more powerful and can do all these incredible new things that consoles can't? Why is all this shit so optimized for consoles, but runs like shit on PCs?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this
Good.
is all news
Thanks.
to me, but my guess is that maybe they're, and I don't know if this is subsidized or not, but they might be building this stuff default to run on the latest like mega video card. Like I have my NVIDIA GeForce 9000 with 400 terabytes of RAM and stuff like that. So when your normal average user with a video card, a tenth of that power runs it, it's like, you could take, sketches of each frame in between because it's running so slow. I don't.
No, I isn't it more that they code their game it's like using console engine 5 instead of Unreal Engine 5. And so like when they do it for PC, you can't run that engine on the PC base. So you have to recode slightly. I thought it was on that level.
Maybe, I don't. I thought the Unreal Engine, like you build a game in Unreal and then you're like export to PC, export to Xbox,
Oh, okay.
whatever the fuck.
But hold on, but that's also weird because Xboxes and PlayStation, for that matter, are just PCs. So they're just running. I mean, I know you can optimize specifically for the hardware they have.
Technically, but it's like the operating system is different. And so it like hardware is going to map differently.
No, the Xbox runs a modified version of Windows. I don't know what PlayStation.
I mean, I don't. But is it Windows?
Yeah, Xbox runs Windows, a modified version of Windows.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's either that or all of whatever the industry standards are behind the video cards. I mean, that's the only other thing I could think of is they have some kind of codex for that.
So the game that I was talking about, that I was trying to remember, the other one that had issues, is the new Star Wars game. Star Wars, Kevin, you were in
Oh, so I got dropped. Yeah,
Survivor.
the negative reviews. Yeah,
Yeah, it got Steam bomb, and it got review bombed on Steam again because everyone's like, okay, this game is completely fucking unplayable, and these people are like running 3,000 or 4,000 cards, so it's kind of crazy that this shit is happening. Meanwhile, again, it's running fine on consoles, and all these games have been running. I think the only exception was in recent years was Cyberpunk. Which actually, no, even that's not true because Cyberpunk ran fine on the new Xbox and on the new PlayStation. It ran like shit on PC and it ran like shit on the previous gen consoles.
in the very beginning, I thought it was pretty hard on the consoles, and they had to. That was one of their hustles that
The previous gen consoles, on modern consoles, it ran just fine. No, I mean, not fine. It had
It
problems.
seems like all that console is like a video card with a small CPU to run the actual. I mean, most of that's video card based in
Right. Right, but I mean, okay, I know you could say, so one of the arguments people were saying, like, oh, but there's so many different hardware setups, so it's hard to design for all that. But there really isn't that many varieties. There's only a few video cards out there, and everyone's pretty much running in like Intel. I mean, there's only Intel and AMD really, both on the video card and on the chip side. So, is it really that much to
It just be driver based. At the end of the day, us sort of debating on what it could be is kind of
futile.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's a perfect word.
Well, I thought maybe you guys ran across it before. I thought maybe it's something.
No, yeah, a couple of guesses, but I don't know the true answer.
Because when the Diablo beta came out, I mean, I actually couldn't run it on my PC at all. But when the thing, well, right, so okay, so first it just didn't run at all. It just kept crashing, and then they said, oh, you have to download the new NVIDIA drivers. Like NVIDIA, that's so weird. NVIDIA had to release brand new drivers for like a game that's not even out yet in order for it to work right. So once I got the drivers, the game started, and then it still didn't work right. But that's pretty crazy.
That's because the game devs have the connection to the NVIDIA engineers that do driver codecs updates, and it's like, hey, a couple extra, oh yeah, you could do this. And I think that's what happens is you get a little update to the driver for optimization or whatever.
And like, oh, there's this new ray tracing algorithm, and they might be like, well, this 4000 series card can handle this kind of computation, so we'll put it out for that. But the 3000, it's like shit out of luck because it doesn't have that kind of power.
I don't know. All I know is that in a world where, again, I keep coming back to the fact that the Nintendo Switch can run pretty impressive games on that hardware, the fact that, and I'm not saying these are comparable games, they're not, but still.
Yeah, but you got to remember, all the ports are going to either down process or up process them. And the first thing is like video, but it's also, well, it's got to be mostly output. Input and actual, like, when you think about a game, you have input control cycles and output control cycles, and then it follows whatever script and, pass through the plot of the game.
Okay.
I don't know. We're just surmising. We don't know. It's fun, but I'm not sure it's interesting.
No, but my whole thing is just like, I keep people screaming about how, PC this and PC that, but I mean, that's kind of why people like me just stick to consoles. Because everyone who picked up this, like you said,
I've always seen the PC as like the world and the consoles on these like little islands. So like, no, we're not going to just settle on the little island.
Yeah. Well, okay, I don't understand that analogy. I'm just gonna say I like the idea of that. I just press a button and play a game. I don't know. It just this PC thing is just like old. I see a lot of frustration in the PC game. I just see people constantly trying to fix things as opposed to play the game, and there's just a lot of anger and frustration in PC gamers.
That's the bad side effect of the alphas and the beta releases,
I guess to what Kevin is saying is if you play on the Xbox, you have access to Microsoft, their store, right? Do you have access to Steam on the Xbox?
No, I do not.
Do you have access to Epic on the Xbox?
I'm trying to think. Sort of. No, I don't.
Okay.
Some Epic, but no.
On the PC, I could effectively play whatever I want. I could fire up my...
Oh, yeah, no, you're completely right. So in that regard, I would say the PC, that's the one advantage of the PC. There's a bazillion games, things that are never going to be available on the console that you can play on the PC, absolutely. But I'm talking about specifically just AAA games. Like, I don't understand why you would buy a AAA game on PC these days, considering all the...
Actually, I'll give you a good example. Was the recent one was like Forspoken? Forspoken. There you go. Yes,
there was a game called. There was a game called Forsaken. That's the one that's like Souls.
But I think but I am talking about Forspoken. But it wasn't that for PC, or is that a console? And I just didn't realize.
Forspoken was for PlayStation 5.
Oh, all right.
And it was terrible. And it was on PC. Was it on PC?
I saw the review and I was like, this doesn't look fun.
Oh, it's
kind of.
I would personally never played it.
I didn't like the graphics.
Everybody trashed that game and said it was horrible.
Like the magic, or whatever you call it, the graphics around the special moves and all that, they didn't look interesting. It looked like
It looked very boring, and it also had the misfortune of coming out about a week before the Harry Potter game came out, which apparently also, which did the whole magic thing way better. So yeah. I just honestly, I just wanted to ask because, like, just in general, the state of gaming is in such a weird freaking state right now. Everything's just a mess. Honestly, it's not just PC gaming. I don't mean. I was just focusing on that just because every time, like in the last couple of years, especially, every time a new game comes out, it just almost universally it gets like review bombed on Steam because the PC port works like shit. And then they slowly update it and it becomes better and it finally becomes really good. And then the reviews sort of even out. But for the first first few weeks, it's fucking rough. Meanwhile, the console player is just like, wee. I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly don't know enough about it to accurately answer, but I'm happy with my PC.
But here's the thing, though. In all honesty, though, you don't play that many games, though.
Yeah, I'm not into heavy, like,
right.
PS. Like, I'm not into games that need to run at 120 and need a 5,000, NVIDIA 5,000 GXT video card that costs $10,000.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
but maybe your whole commentary. I mean, as a PC biased player, I totally agree with you. Like, the only AAA game I got excited for in 3 or 4 years has actually been Cyberpunk, and that's it.
Elden Ring.
Even Elden Ring wasn't like. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I didn't have that hyper motivation.
You have trashed Nick Offerman and Elden Ring in one night.
No, that's not a trash. I played the shit out of that game. It was a lot of fun. What I'm talking about is that sort of visceral, like, excitement for a new game that's coming. Almost like we used to get for TV shows. Whatever.
Like the excitement that I get for TV shows with Nick Offerman in them.
About Elden Ring? Yeah.
Nick Offering?
The worst. Anyway, we're about an hour in, so actually, once again, I want to say that this might be a good time to take a break, and I'm going to wash my mouth out from... Jerry, I don't know if I can keep drinking this, I got to be honest. It's definitely buzzing me, but man...
No,
I agree with you. It does numb the tongue.
My entire mouth is numb. My whole mouth is numb.
That is good as a mixer. Like, if you had root beer soda and you poured, like half of it out and replaced it with half of the 99, that would be good.
That might be good. Yeah, I wish I knew that. Yeah, because right now I can't, I wouldn't be able to tell whether I'm going up or down on anybody. There's just a mess in here. All right. Yeah, let's take a break and get some refills, and then we'll come back. And please, just in case, remind me when I come back to unmute us. Yes.
I couldn't do that.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back. And we are, let's say we're back. There you go. If I ever
and I can hear
unmuted.
So we're good. Although, is this when I say again, now, as it's being broadcast, that we should rebrand that screen to fit in with our drink break, and it should say beer right back?
This would be a perfect time for those crickets, Jerry.
Oh, damn, yeah.
No, I was going as fast as possible.
No, thank you. I don't know. I still don't know how to do it. Anyway, I should really probably figure out. I'm guessing, is it these things? Oh, I found
next to the smiley face. It's the little thing with a note.
That's bad news for you guys.
Oh my God,
that's not what I was going to. Okay, that's terrible. I need to ban these. These are no longer allowed in the stream. Apologies to no one. Okay. Anyway, so I mentioned a whole bunch of games last week that are, but a few were really good. I feel like I want to get that out there really quick. I feel like the world should know about them. Like, denying people the knowledge that they're these wonderful, indie developers exist and make quality products as opposed to horrible AAA games that don't work on anything. Maybe.
What, pray tell, Skippy,
Oh.
games are you talking about?
Speaking of which, look at my new drink. It is fizzy water, which has it's not what it's called, but I don't know why I'm forgetting what fizzy water is called. Probably because
That's what I call it when I fart in Kevin's hot tub, but
very nice. So this is directly from Kevin's hot tub, mixed with a juice, the name of which I also forgot. So it's
grape juice.
seltzer. Thank you. Seltzer, grape juice. No, seltzer and guava.
That's guava. Yeah.
With a little bit of whiskey in it.
Oh, that could be tasty.
It's
Everything.
horrible. No, it is terrible. I have to stop trying to invent drinks because it never works, and this tastes like shit. But it's one of those things, you know. I wet my bed now to sleep in it. Oh God, it is horrible. I'm gonna
What made you do that? Decide to use that?
I'm a free spirit, Jerry. I see things and I combine them. I just to take stuff together and slap it together, and then hence the consequences. That's, you know, that's worked out pretty well for me so far. That's how we got my daughter. So the games that I tried were, I'm going to fly through this really quick. So actually last week, Kevin, you were praising The Last Spell, which really quick
Yes.
is a game where it is an isometric pixel art game, which is awesome, where during the day you're basically building and reinforcing a town, and at night you're attacked by all sorts of zombies and skeletons and wizards and oh my, and you defend it, and then you get stuff, and then you use the stuff that you got to reinforce your town and fix your forces and get ready for the next invasion, and you do that for as long as you can until you die, and then you do it all again because, like everything else coming out today, it's a roguelike.
It's a sequence where you have like the 8 or so waves that you have to survive, and then whether you succeed or not, eventually once you succeed, like you'll keep retrying the same town,
Right.
and then once you succeed, then you move on to another town.
Right. So The Last Spell, that's really good. Check that out. The games that I tried, and again, I'm sorry I'm flying through this just because I did this last week. I finally got Dome Keeper, which, if you have not heard from, very simple but very enjoyable game. You are literally the keeper of a dome. Your dome crashes on a planet. You mine down out of the dome into this world. You collect a bunch of resources. You use those resources to reinforce your dome and to reinforce and to improve your little miner. And you do that because every once in a while a wave of enemies attacks your dome. So you have to stop mining, run to your dome, and defend it against this. Damn that fucking dog. In a bunch of creatures are attacking your dome. You defend it, hopefully successfully. Once that happens, you go back into mining mode, digging for more resources. You do that until you... there's various game modes, but basically you have to survive long enough. And it's also roguelike, where when you die, you earn new things and you keep going. Wall World, or is it World of Walls or Wall World?
Wall World.
Wall World. Maybe it's Wall World. Maybe it is. No, it's Wall World. Basically a knockoff of Dome Keeper, but it's on its side. So instead of digging down, you're digging sideways into a wall, and basically the same exact principle as that. But it's fun. It's got a few more mechanics that work fairly well. They basically ripped off Dome Keeper, but added a few more elements to it, which make it a fairly fun game. The other one, what I tried, Kevin, you helped me with the pronunciation of this last time. AK Zolotol?
No,
Oh, you helped me, Jerry.
axolotl.
Axolotl. Wow. I was
It's
not
the name's an animal.
Okay, right. I was not close. That is a combination of Gundam Dungeon, the Binding of Isaac, and like a Tamagotchi thing. That is the best way I can explain it. You have these little creatures, you grow them and develop on this little farm that's very Tamagotchi-like, and then you send them into this world to fight in a very Gundam Dungeon sort of thing, where the controls, the weapons, the enemies, the bosses, everything kind of works on that same sort of principle. Really, really cute game, really well done. Again, the pixel art is beautiful. It's a really fun game. Holes of Torment, the best ways to explain that game is it is a Vampire Survivors-like, but made in the style of Diablo. It's free, so there's absolutely no reason to not try it. In fact, I hope since I mentioned it last week, you guys did. I'm going to guess you did not. But it's good. It's called Holes of Torment. Like I said, it's a Vampire Survivors-like with all the graphics of Diablo, with a few extra little touches here or there. It's really good, honestly. It really is fun, and the devs are very responsive, and they're working on improving that game pretty rapidly.
I think I looked at that and thought to myself, "Oh, that looks cool. I should install it." Didn't get around.
You should. It's for some reason it works. I can't explain why, but it's just fun. It's very basic. It's a very early. It's not even. I think it's not even an alpha build yet, but it again, it's free and they're rapidly like developing. So anyway,
Halls of Torment.
hold on. Yeah, Halls of Torment. Sorry. It's either the guava or the whiskey that's making my brain go completely haywire.
Torment. Oh, there we are.
I mean, one of us should focus on talking.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you guys handle the chat. I can't. I'm going down my list. But hello, person. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So, and the last thing I'm going to mention is Bionic Bay. Again, sorry, I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm just working my way through a list after drinking, so it's not easy. Bionic Bay is kind of a game in the same vein as something like Inside or Limbo, except thinking you're like more zoomed out. So your character is really small. It's a way more expansive world. It's supposed to be like this post-apocalyptic thing where I only played the demo, so I'm not really sure like what's going on story-wise. So, but basically some event happened, the world is in shambles, you're trying to figure out exactly what the hell is going on. It does, however, so it takes, like I said, that Limbo or Inside game style, but it adds a really cool mechanic where you can swap places with certain things that you
right. Yeah,
So,
I remember.
Right, so let's say you come
Well, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so let's say you come across a boulder that's blocking like a tunnel. You sort of like touch and activate the boulder, and then you walk somewhere else, and then you press a button and you swap places with that boulder. So now the tunnel is open and you can proceed. That's sort of how the mechanic in the game is introduced. But the puzzles get way more elaborate. I mean, you have to use that like sort of to figure things out and solve puzzles that get more and more difficult as the game goes on. Like certain things you move, like you'll cause a rock slide and you'll die. So like things like that, basically. So you have to move items around.
Like there was some big piston coming down and they swapped locations with like, a column or something, and it stopped the piston coming down so they could go through it. That's pretty neat.
Right. So basically that's where you interact with this world. And yeah, it's like some places like you'll have like these things like this heat shit that's shooting out of one side and you have to like...
What's the name of the game again?
It's called Bionic Bay. And I flew through that very good. But thank you for posting the link for that, Jerry. You're a great mod, Jerry. I just want to listen.
I am.
Yeah. Well,
no.
Get the
If
hyper
really
task.
like what you were doing, you'd be actually showing this as we were discussing it.
I will sync up on you later, I promise. Yeah, damn Jerry. Do your job, Jerry. Anyway, so that's kind of like my game right at this point. And then trying to think, like nothing really interesting. The other only game that we came across was that Unrecord game.
Oh, that was creepy, dude. I saw that and it just looks way too realistic.
Yeah, so Unrecord is supposed to look like a body cam. There was a video that was shared across all sort of web social channels and gaming websites where basically it looks like a body cam footage video where a guy wanders through the hallways and murders people. So to the extent where, again, I think I mentioned one guy on Twitter was kind of like, this is brilliant. You basically just go on a murder spree and then claim that it's a game demo and just get away with it. So yeah, apparently there's a playable demo of this game out somewhere. I don't know if I'm really into murder simulators, so it's, I guess, impressive for what it does, but not really my thing. So
Yeah, it's probably not the best way to show off the latest abilities of the Unreal Engine, but it did, it did its job, I guess.
hey, look, the great thing about games is they make different ones for different people, so people can enjoy different things. I don't think I've ever watched a game where I kill people and was like, man, I need to be more realistic. Like, I really want to feel like I'm committing a crime here.
Yeah,
But hey,
yeah,
if
that was a little bit creepy.
I don't remember too many murders happening in Rocket League, but I will admit that I have not played too much of that game. So I don't know, maybe. I mean, has gone through a lot of updates. I don't know.
At least they blurred the faces.
I think it's got a pretty solid, like,
Or
esports situation.
Oh, Rocket League is a ton of fun, man. I have never played it, but every time I watch people play it, the game is fantastic. It's fun. It's really, really well done. But see, that's cool. You look at that and you go, cars playing soccer, that's great. Crackheads being shot in the face, realistically, not really what I'm in the mood for on a given day. Like, I can't say I come home from work every day and go, that's, I'd rather play some Rocket League, but that's just me, to each their own. I am not judging. Anyway.
good times.
Jerry, you play anything fun lately?
No, just the usual stuff, honestly.
Remini Baker or Cookie Clicker.
No, okay. So in that sense, I've been playing Magic Research. It's another incremental game. Surprise, surprise.
Which is Magic Research?
Magic Research. Yeah, it's like $3 on Steam or whatnot. And it's just like you're supposed to be, I don't know, like a headmaster of a wizard school. It's mostly text-based. It's incremental. You build up some stuff, you get some meta progression, and then you reset and see how far you could get with the new stuff that you got. So it's, another one of those games where you don't have to like actually sit and put.
Those are, the auto clicker ones.
It's not a clicker. It's
You don't have to do that.
mental.
They are, but they usually you're doing like auto click cycles, but then you could always sit there with your, if you're on your phone and just like freaking click extra.
Not. There are ways or things that you can do to speed it up, and some things that you could do to automate, but it's not necessarily what you would think of as a traditional clicker, where you have to like click the cookie 400 times or
Mash it.
that. It's more like
Again, I'm not judging, to each their own, but
no, but like I don't know, when you're dealing with work and life and other stuff and just want to like play a game that you could progress a little bit with and not worry about having to, your guy to get shot because everything looks too realistic. I don't know. I enjoy them. I like to see where the story goes and like what the next level of progression is.
what's that game? There's a game out. Yeah, actually, it's funny you mention that because the tower defense games is something Jerry's absolutely in love with. In fact, please don't get him started on tower defense games. We're going to be here all night talking about tower defense games.
Yeah, you could get me started on tower defense games. I was just watching. There was something out of it.
I'm going to sleep.
Potato or someone had put someone. It was like a factory builder, and then you go down to a planet and you like do some tower defense stuff while you get resources to bring up to the factory and build. I can't remember what it was. I have to check my YouTube history. I only got like 5 minutes into it, but it looked cool.
Wait, are you talking about Dome Keeper? Because I just talked about that.
No, I'm gonna look this thing up now. What the hell was it? I don't know. It looked cool.
Wait, why does Balloon sound familiar?
Where it is?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, this is so awesome.
Oh, you play that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody I follow on Twitch actually was just raving about that game. Yeah, there we go. The monkey game. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And it's great. You like level up your monkeys and they shoot darts and shit, and then you get the super monkey and he's like, I got laser beams for eyes, fuck everything, and it's fun. It's
Wait, hold on. You got a
great
monkey with
because
laser eyes?
yeah, you get,
Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? All I want in my life is a monkey with laser eyes. Am I asking for too much?
no,
crazy.
no, you're not. Except you're like, haha. The thing is that it
And little monkeys with darts.
yes, it lulls you into a sense of complacency because you're like, I have a super monkey with laser eyes, and then like the crazy camo lead balloons come out and like they just go through all your defenses and you die. And you're like, fuck, I should have took the super monkey with laser eyes and transformed him into the robot monkey with like dual cannon hands and
Every time we do this, you fill like the hours telling me about these boring ass games like that text one, and then meanwhile you're playing these amazing games with monkeys with laser eyes and darts, and somehow you never like share that information.
because
it's disgusting.
when we do it, you're like, you're lame tower defense clicker.
I don't dislike tower defense games. The thing is, like, I'm just not good at them, so I try to pretend that I don't like them because that's how I compensate for the fact that I'm just shit at them. They're hard, man. Tower defense games are hard.
They're not necessarily hard. You just have to be like, oh, that didn't work, so let me try something else. Don't build all laser towers or all rocket towers, but like, combine shit. Put a flow tower right before a flame tower, and then all the guys get slow and they get burned to death.
What was that tower? What was that? The tower. I think it's a tower defense game you were always raving about. Something about trolls. Help me. I think where you're like in a dungeon and you control
Orcs Must Die.
Orcs Must Die.
Is that it? Yeah, right.
That's sort of reverse.
It's
like gold protection with trap sort of mechanics. It's a little different than tower defense, but it is sort of similar.
And it's combined with it's first person shooter kind of thing. It's like Dungeon Defenders. So you basically have
that's better.
waves where you set up certain traps or towers or whatever you want to call it. It's effectively the same thing. No, I didn't. I never really played Warcraft 3, although I played I think like a clone of it on my phone, but back when mobile phones were new. I had an old Windows phone. Jeez, this has got to be
Oh my God!
years ago.
You put a Windows phone.
I had one too. You had one too.
Years ago.
Oh, you're talking about the original one. You're talking about like the PDAs and shit.
Yeah. No, that was a good. That was
Not a PDA, like a flip the keyboard out kind of phone.
No, it didn't have a flip keyboard. It was like a PDA kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I had like a fucking chunk thing that I attached to the back of it that like added a 1 gig hard drive or something ridiculous. Yeah, that was a good tower defense game. That had, if I remember correctly, it had like good mazing. So like it was just an open field, and there were times where you could like, if I'm remembering it correctly, you could maze like where you placed your towers made a good depended on the path that the monsters took. Not so much like a lot of the Kingdom Rush games where you're like you have 6 places to put your towers now. But that was fun. I miss that game. I can't remember the name of it, but
What is
it's based on Warcraft 3.
I'm trying. It's just killing me. What was the tower defense game? Was it Core Defense? I told you about a little while ago. It was a tower defense roguelike. It's like a deck builder tower defense roguelike game. That's just like that's out right now.
I think there was a couple.
It's killing me because I can't find it. And it's killing me.
There's Rogue Tower, I believe, on Steam. Right? Rogue Tower, is that it? Yeah, there's Rogue Tower.
That's supposed to be pretty good.
That is a good game.
Well,
And then there's another game that's like a clone of this that has like an extra an extra bit to it where there's like, I don't know, like karma, not karma, but there's like blessings or curses that I haven't played it yet. I've seen it and it looks pretty cool. Shit, is there like a you might like? No,
It's not really fun. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mean to say anything bad about Microsoft phones. I had one for quite a while. I was one of the people that was very upset when they decided to kill the new Microsoft phones, the new ones. You know, they had the Metro design on them, the grid. Those were great,
The
man.
ones looked kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, they were awesome. I mean, I know there were no apps for them because unfortunately they didn't get into any support, but I liked using them. I was hoping with let's put it this way. I wanted there to be another alternative. I didn't want it to be just like I got tired of listening to the Android and the iPhone people screaming at each other. So it was nice to have another alternative. And while those two are yelling at each other, you just quietly sit there and you have like 3 apps on your phone, and you're like, la-di-da-di-da, everything's gonna be fine. And then they killed it. So the power. That's why we can't have anything nice. That's why the Pebble was it not the Pebble? Was that what it was called?
It was a Pebble.
I think so.
What was it? No, the Pebble were the watches. What was the It was a phone. It was shaped like, oh God, what was it? It was this is killing me.
Tamagotchi? What are you talking about?
No, it was a small. There's only like two cycles for this phone. It was kind of roundish. It like slid out, so it had a keyboard built into it. Was it a Pebble? Because I know Pebble was a watch, but this is gonna freaking kill me. It was only out for a couple of years, and unfortunately, like I said, it died. They actually came out with that card-like interface on it. You know, it doesn't matter. Whatever. This is like, just go off way into the weeds about nothing.
Sorry,
Yeah, you sure went into the weeds. I wanted to end the tower defense thing with the tower escape game that was more recent, and I thought that was kind of cool because you play the first.
What was the tower escape?
So basically, the game you're playing against the tower defenses as like this necromancer stuck in a jail tower or whatever, and he's like sending the monsters out along a path. So you basically play pathing them and then buying new monsters to send, like the horde to send out of the path.
Oh, that sounds a little bit like
the reverse.
It sounds a little bit like, what's that? Necro. What's the game I was talking about last week too? Necromage.
Well, that Necroforge. The one where you like roguelite make. Oh, maybe. But this one was Tower Escape. I thought it was kind of good.
I'm talking about Necrosmith. I'm sorry. Necrosmith.
Oh, there you go.
There's a second one coming out. Necrosmith is an awesome game. I think it costs all of like $1 on Steam, so definitely like I would recommend checking that out. You basically you put together like, so like Necrosmith is you have like a palace, and then you not a palace, I'm sorry, like your main castle, and then you assemble creatures from different parts. So you have like an arm of a skeleton and like a leg of a goblin and like the head of a different goblin. I don't know, and legs, a torso, and you basically you slap them all together and you send this thing out into the world, and it like and it collects resources and fights monsters for you, whatever. And you have to keep building them and churning them out. So eventually, if you're getting attacked by swarms of monsters, anyway, it's actually a fun little game. How did you manage to kill your GPU? My God. And I hope it was not an expensive GPU.
Yeah.
Hey, Skid, I found someone to buy your desktop there.
Please don't buy my desktop. I mean, please buy my desktop.
You ask and you shall receive.
How do you feel about 486s?
Oh shit.
A 30. Just a 30.
Is it with the 4,000 cheaper than fixing it?
I would do very, very dirty things for a 3090. I wish I had a 30. That has to do with our earlier conversations. I would go up or down. I forget. Anyway,
I'm sure it did hurt.
That's. What was it? Last year, that game that came out, New World, the one that Amazon released that apparently blew up a bunch of.
Oh yeah, it really did.
The 4,000 cards, something like that.
don't know if it was blown. Oh, maybe it was blown to 4,000. Did they just come out at that point? It might have been the threes.
It might have been the higher end threes.
Kevin wants to get off the subject of tower defense, so we could go to factory builders.
Well, you did play. You were playing Mindustry.
Yeah, Mindustry was cool. I started playing that a little bit. That's more like kind of, I'm gathering resources for the tower defense aspect of it.
So that has tower defense in it as well.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay. Well, so much for getting tower defense. Okay.
Yeah. But it's not, there are some games that are more factory based, like, Factorio, or there's another one that I want to try, like Tectonica. Shit. And I'm waiting for Dyson Sphere to come out with the combat update. That should be cool too.
Is that that's multiplayer, right?
Wait, Dyson Sphere is
If it's inherently multiplayer, but I think there's a mod for it.
I thought there was a big update that did that.
Yeah. Wait. So is Dyson Sphere? Dyson Sphere is getting an update. I thought Dyson Sphere is kind of into development.
It is. I mean, it's still. I think it's still early access, but they're working on it. I think it's like
You didn't try the Star Wars yet.
so. They've made an amazing game. For the amount of developers that they have. I'm not holding my breath for it to come out. If I can make one comment about Bloons TD, I think they missed the obvious mark. There's monkeys throwing stuff at balloons, yet there's no monkeys that throw poo at balloons.
That would have
That the whole, like they're missing. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. It's like like shiny
had to
keys
get
in
it out.
front of him. Like, I don't have any shiny.
terrific. Gonna go back to my wine.
Now that I've finished the disgusting drink, I'm moving on. I think I'm moving back to this.
Ooh, screwball. Oh, so
You got to numb your tongue again.
No, Screwball is good.
screwballs.
That's a solid. That's a solid thing. Yeah, Screwball's just sort of
What is that? 35.
Screwball is 35. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think most of the flavored whiskeys. Yeah, it's peanut butter whiskey.
It is a peanut butter flavored whiskey, but don't let I don't know if that scares you, because I know flavored whiskeys scare people away. But so Screwball is really popular.
Fucking delicious.
I want to say in Pennsylvania, which was very surprising to me, because the people that I know up there, as soon as I mentioned Screwball to them, they were all over it.
Oh, Skippy doesn't know anything about Woodford.
Oh my God.
Do you, Skippy?
Woodford is the shit.
Yeah, Skippy.
Woodford is the shit. The 00 stuff. Oh my God.
The Skippy wouldn't have ordered 10 of them on the company's dime during his...
Do not,
That's hilarious.
do not put me in a room with Woodford. Yeah, Woodford is definitely good. My wife loves Woodford. That's like, she's not even I mean, she likes whiskey and bourbon. That would be like her drink of choice. But man, yeah, if you get the 00 Woodford, oof. If I did something really, really bad, I bring home a nice bottle of that Woodford thing. And then she still beats me, but she's drunk when she's doing it, so her aim is not quite as good, so it's fine.
And that's good, because then she'll pass out and you could drink the rest of it. So I do something bad like at least once a week. Be like, hey, honey, look what I brought.
Brings new context to the previous conversation.
And about
What
you,
are we up to next on the list?
next on the list, we are...
Drinking's always on the list.
Yeah, actually, unless something...
Aren't you supposed to give us your Skippy's Not Allowed in Costco, or is that the last one?
This is
He said that. So I can recant that story because he said it last week. That story was basically...
No. I would like to retell the story. Okay, I'm sorry. It happened to me, and I feel like it's funny because we didn't have audio last week. Fuck you. Anyway, okay. So just to recap the story, why I'm no longer allowed at Costco is because my family went to Costco, and I bought a couple of articles of clothing, and I had my 2-year-old daughter sitting, in the cart, I put the clothing next to her, and she was just kind of just playing with it. And then at some point, she was saying something, and she had like her hand inside it, and she thought that I bought, I guess, the pants. Anyway, and she was like rummaging in them. And as I'm standing in a very, very packed part of Costco, I'm like, honey, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, there's a monster. And again, in the middle of a Costco crowd, I loudly exclaim, oh no, there's a monster in Daddy's pants. As horrified people look on, and my wife just sort of puts her head down and tries to walk away.
She knew the truth.
Yes, she knew. She knew it was just a little monkey with darts. My poor daughter starts screaming, Daddy, take the monster out of your pants, Daddy. So that's why I should never go to Costco ever again.
Let me just whip this out.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's time. Where's the rim shot? Should we?
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
This is this is the worst. This is
Horrible timing there.
It is. This is the worst. This is absolutely the worst. They literally. This is why they just allow anyone on Twitch. It's horrible. I was actually going to say that it's time for me to wrap up. I'll be honest. I have drank many horrible things tonight. I've mixed things that I should not have mixed, and I think it's time to go regret some of the decisions that I've made tonight. So, unless anyone else has anything pressing, yeah, no, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, we don't really have a schedule. It's like herding cats, but we try to make it a more regular thing. And at some point, Kevin is going to stream.
We'll see. That'll just
No.
be
I mean, games. Don't get excited. It's just games. It's not like
Not pants monsters.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
No, definitely not.
it's
I don't
not.
know about monsters.
It's not Kevin's Playhouse.
Jeez.
That's
So what are we? Don't forget we have podcast typical endings or whatever.
Oh, you mean
Of course, I never have an answer for the moral of the story or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just skipping all that tonight. I'm just happy that everything hopefully went without any sort of problems. Again, thank you for stopping by the conversation. We appreciate it. I would say everyone have a great night. Yeah, Jerry, good night, baby.
Oh wait, do I have to final thought here? No, why don't someone else go first?
I'm not doing that.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. That's it, man. Yeah.
Oh wow, we're not final thoughting. Well, what about Skippy's horrible?
Did you fall asleep on the keyboard again?
I did. Maybe. I don't know. What about Skippy's horrible?
Jerry, yeah, Jerry's slowly trying to work towards another tower defense conversation. I know.
Whatever you do, don't sing out.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna go.
Dude, you're so inviting it by just saying that. I wasn't thinking about it. Now that you said that,
No. Yeah. All right, Skippy, hit the button.
Yeah. Wrapping up again. Everybody have a great night. I will talk to all of you.
oh hey guys,
Oh my God. Oh, God damn it. We're never gonna get.
look at what's happening to.
This has been a production of
It's just me.
Studios.